Hello, everybody. This is Adamu from Nigeria Freedom Radio. Today is Thursday, June 21st, 2018. So I was listening to my favorite podcaster. His name is Stefan Molyneux. And I actually had to go back to listen to his early podcast dating back to 2006, Volume 1 on iTunes. And I was listening. There was this episode of his podcast where he was talking about the destruction of freedom in the West, particularly in the United States. And he was just so passionately talking about the issue, how people are allowing government to destroy the core foundation of what built the West. And I was reflecting on the kind of people he is talking to about this issue. Considering that he was talking to everybody, but that topic was particularly referring to the destruction of freedom in North America, particularly in the US. And I thought, if he could talk with this passion and such a disappointment, you could feel, you could sense, you could hear the disappointment in his voice about how people here have let the government to destroy or is destroying the foundation of freedom. And you could feel disappointment. So I thought, I, as a Nigerian, preaching freedom to Nigerian audience in particular, an audience that are not as much enlightened to the idea of freedom as the people here in the United States. People that are so tribal in nature. So tribal. Absolutely more than people here in the US. I thought, oh my God. I don't even know if my message would ever make any dent, like zero. He has pretty good audience right now. Millions of downloads of his podcast. So, just the obstacle in my way. Not that I am taking this on my head, not at all. But of course, I would like to see Nigerians absorb this message, come to the conclusion on their own through reason and facts that the way to go is freedom. I would love to see that. But I'm talking to audience that have no idea. I shouldn't say no idea. That compared to the US, not even close. Knowing of an idea of freedom. People, we are very much tribalistic. In Nigeria, basically, I think people vote based on religion and tribe. That is why when you have a Christian president or presidential candidate, most of his votes would come from the South, the region that is more dominated by Christians. Our current president from the North was voted most in the North. People just vote based on religion and tribe, I tell you. So how do I take the message of freedom to such a collectivist? I'm not condemning anyone. It's just the fact that Nigerians, we are so tribalistic. And we certainly are not enlightened on freedom as people here. And I can see it here in the US. I mean, let's say half of the population really do not see anything wrong with the government, or more actually. The Republicans as well like government. They want government for defense, to enforce abortion laws. So majority of the people in the United States favor government favorably in some way or the other. So if this guy is sending his message, making this message for people here in the US, and he has been doing it for more than 10 years, and it's like there's hardly any dent to what he's saying and preaching over these years. How about me, that I just recently started, that I'm not known, zero. I mean, not zero, but my friends, just immediate friends, really. Yeah, the task is I can't even project the amount of time it will take to convince a small portion of Nigerians that we need freedom, that the solution to our poverty and crisis is freedom. Luckily for me, I try not to take this personally. So I try to see this as a message. I'm a messenger passing the message. No one owes me anything. No one owes me to understand what I'm saying or to take it. So luckily I view it that way. No one owes me, so I'm not disappointed if no one takes or understands the message. That really helps. Because otherwise, if I'm making this message and I expect people to understand and take it like I do, to understand that government is violence, is the cause of poverty, crisis. You know, if I expect people to understand that the way I understand, I'll be an angry little man. Because it's just really hard to pass this kind of message. First of all, people might not even be interested to listen. Secondly, when you tell someone that government is bad, you have shattered however many years of that notion in their brain. So it's really hard to come to the reality that government is bad, that what they have been supporting for the past 20 years, 10 years, 30 years is bad. They've been supporting evil. Their biases might not allow them to take the message. It will block it. They will block to understand it. Or even if they do, they won't just take it. So, yeah, that wouldn't go well if I try to assume those kind of people will understand me and take my message. Excuse me. So I will continue to be a messenger, and hopefully someone in my children's generation will take the baton, pass it on like that. There's certainly nothing as wasted. I don't see my message as a waste, as not necessary. I see it as necessary, and I will continue to do that because it gives me joy doing that. God, lucky for me, it does that. Otherwise, it's pretty miserable to be in a sea of sharks, or I'm the only little, not like that, but you get my point. Among millions of people that don't understand what you're saying. That is part of the game. That comes with the message anyway. So I will continue to be a messenger, and if you want to be part of the message, you want to take the message, I urge you not to take it personally. Try to be as much as you can understanding to those who don't understand that government is evil. So try to be compassionate, understanding, ask questions, let them tell you why they support the government or not, and so on and so forth. I appreciate you listening. If you have any value listening to this message, please don't forget to pass it on. Thank you again. I will see you next time.